the staff in terms of developing their technical skills. And they also need to ensure, cybersecurity is also becoming very important. So, what I mean by that is that some entrepreneurs might be under the impression that if somebody's on a fixed term contract, that you can treat them differently to somebody who is employed on an indefinite basis. Hi, my name is Karabo Pale. I am the HR executive here at Express Employment Professionals, and I am basically responsible for making sure that our long term HR and IR initiatives translate to our franchisees and clients. And today I'm going to be talking about some common legal pitfalls that entrepreneurs might experience in South Africa. One of the misinterpretations of employment law is that a new hire or a new employee is not an employee until they've signed an employment contract. That employee might be new to your company as an entrepreneur in South Africa, and be it whether it's due to administration or a lack of oversight, you might delay in giving them an employment contract, and along the line, you may experience problems with that employee's either their performance or their conduct. Some entrepreneurs are under the impression that if that employee hasn't been given an employment contract, that means that you can terminate them immediately. This is just not the case. Once an employee renders their services to you or their labor to you, under the understanding that you will remunerate them for that, then you have a tacit agreement of employment, which means that you need to follow due process when it comes to terminating that employee. So, if the issue is related to conduct, you will follow disciplinary measures. If it's related to performance, you will follow performance management measures. This is also applicable to employees who may not have correct documentation, such as IDs or qualifications. And this can all be linked back to the pre employment checks that you run before hiring an employee. Here at Express, we ensure that we do pre employment checks on all our candidates to ensure that our clients get the most suitable and qualified candidates for the job. The pre-employment checks that we run here specifically at Express is if the job is related to specific skills that a client will need, we do have skills tests that we run so that the candidate can be tested either for technical skills or emotional intelligence skills, whatever the skills may be that the client requires. We also ensure that we do reference checks. So we do call the previous employers and we try to reach for three, but the minimum is to do at least two reference checks on their previous employment just to find out and confirm that the employee really did work there and that, what they've written on their CV is true and valid. In addition to that, we can also run criminal or credit checks. It all depends on the requirement of the client or requirement of the job spec. Okay, so I work in the temporary employment industry, and one of the biggest pitfalls that we have seen is the misuse of fixed term contracts or misunderstanding of how to make the most effective use of fixed term contracts. So, fixed term contracts are very useful in terms of seasonal work or project work, or when you just need a temporary replacement, but you have to be able to manage that employee and manage the use of that fixed term contract. So, what I mean by that is that some entrepreneurs might be under the impression that if somebody's on a fixed term contract, that you can treat them differently to somebody who is employed on an indefinite basis. And this is not the case. An employee who's on a fixed term contract is still treated the same in terms of how you manage that employee. So processes such as disciplinary processes, performance management, and retrenchments will be applicable to fixed term contracts. So it's important that if you're going to make use of fixed term contracts, that you partner with a contract specialist, if I can put it that way, who will help you manage the staff and manage the contract to ensure that you are using that fixed term contract or that temporary staff complement of yours to the most benefit to your business.